Hello, everybody, and welcome to Music Industry Insights Worldwide. Today we have a lovely guest, Andy, with us. Hi, Andy, how are you?
Hi, Saskia. Nice to see you.
Likewise, thank you ever so much for coming along today, sharing your story, your views, and your expertise with the listeners. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about yourself, where you're from, and what you do?
Sure. I was very blessed to be born in the year 1961.
No way. You don't look that old.
So, my first coherent memory was in 1964. My older sister came galloping into my room and she said, "Hey, come on, come on." She grabbed me by the arm
Yes.
and she said, "We're going to watch Beatles on TV."
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I thought to myself, okay, is this some kind of National Geographic insect show? I wasn't quite sure what she was referring to. But we all went down to the room with the TV. And of course, at the time, it was a small black and white television. That's what we had.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And my sister was sitting on this side of me, and my brother was on this side. And of course, we were right up close to the television since 64 years ago.
You do.
I don't think the memo had come out that that burns your retinas out.
That's bad for the eyes.
And Ed Sullivan twirled his arm around and said, "The Beatles." And my sister on this side, she's spinning around like a whirling dervish. I look at my brother, his jaws hit the floor. And I remember turning around. My parents didn't look happy. They were concerned that they would be allowing such rubbish,
Right.
such long haired, crazy looking people with instruments uh, would be in the purview of their children. But I am convinced that that was the moment my life journey was decided, in that from that moment on, and it was rock and roll all the way.
Great.
I was the kid buying the singles, taking my money from cutting lawns or shoveling snow, and
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
70s ushered in the hi-fi system and the 33 RPM. And then there were the 8-track tapes. They were good for when you got your driver's license and you could listen to your favorite records in the car. And in 1979, I realized it was time to jump in. I bought a bass guitar and never looked back. Now, 20 years of living it, breathing it, sweating it, and bleeding it
Yeah.
taught me a whole lot
Okay.
about the music industry. It could be argued it taught me all the things you don't want to do
Well, you don't
if
want
you're
to.
looking to break past that pain point
Yeah.
and be able to do music and nothing else. So, in the year 2000, I realized I better reinvent myself, or I'd be destined to a lifetime selling appliances at Best Buy.
Don't.
And
You
that
don't.
was 24 and a half years ago. And HIP Video Promo is still going strong.
So,
We will be promoting our 5,000th music video this year.
congratulations.
And we've been very blessed and grateful to be in on the ground floor with many of your viewers and listeners' favorite musical groups, singer songwriters,
Love it.
rock bands, hip hop artists, EDM, the
You do.
whole kit and caboodle.
Wow. And what kind of services do you provide as well on your platform?
Well, it used to be just music video promotion,
Yeah.
in that your music video is very much, if you're an independent artist, your
Right.
most potent and powerful piece of marketing currency.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be spending a lot of time and effort to create that memorable visual, you really want to think about how you can get that visual in front of as many potential viewers as
Cool.
possible.
Yes.
And that's where my team and I come in.
So,
Uh, we pitch to television channels. We pitch to the websites and blogs that cover independent music.
Yeah.
We also pitch to the content providers
Well
and
done.
help our clients get their videos placed into retail locations, shopping malls, department stores, Foot Lockers, Journeys, Hot Topic,
So
fitness centers, cruise
cute.
ships, bowling alleys, airports, barber shops. I don't know about the United Kingdom, but here in America, everywhere you go, you will see music videos playing when
Yeah.
you're out and about procuring your provisions or shopping for clothes and or shoes.
Yeah.
You go to the fitness center, the exercise equipment actually has screens built right in.
Yes.
So we combine all of that with the OTT platforms.
Yeah.
What started as just a Roku box a dozen years ago has now proliferated into Amazon Fire TV, Google Chromecast, Apple TV, Pluto, Sling. The whole idea of visuals delivered via the internet wasn't really a thing 15 years ago.
It
But
was.
now you have to figure if Amazon and Apple and Google are all investing millions of dollars into this technology, it's not going to go anywhere. So, if we're going to be promoting what is the cornerstone of any up and coming artist's identity,
Yeah.
we do also want to help them with their social media marketing, their online digital footprint, their search engine optimization,
Yeah.
and make sure that we're able to use this music video more or less as the bait we put on your hook
Yeah.
to bring people to your various
Got you.
platforms,
Yeah.
basically to your world.
Mhm.
We get them there, we want to be able to build a solid, sturdy foundation for whatever the artist is planning as they continue their creative efforts.
Great work and well done. It sounds like you do a lot of marketing there. And it sounds like you're really focusing on the audience and who the audience is, right?
Absolutely. The hard rock, heavy metal artist is going to be getting pitched to different decision makers and gatekeepers than, let's say, the urban hip hop artist.
Yeah.
But thankfully, over the years, we've earned the trust and the respect and the admiration of all the people out there that make these decisions.
Yes.
And they know that here at HIP, we are very highly curated in the artists and musical groups that we champion.
Well done.
So here we are. It's coming up October 26th, will be 25 years.
Well done.
And we have absolutely no intentions of slowing down.
Well done to you, Andy. That's really, really nice to hear as well. And obviously, you've been doing this for so many years. The music industry has changed a lot. It's evolved an awful lot over time. The barriers are a lot lower to entry. Now, what do you find is the problem at the moment with, everyone making music now and anyone can sit in their bedroom and produce hits? Do you find it's oversaturated the market at the moment?
Well, it's true. It used to be that if you were an up and coming musical group
Yes.
or a singer songwriter or a hip hop artist, shooting a music video was an expensive undertaking.
Yeah, it was really expensive back in the day. Yeah.
You had to shoot the music video on film.
Yeah. It was a promotional tool and it still is, right? But you can do it a lot cheaper now.
Well, if you tried to shoot a video digitally, it looked like you shot the video digitally,
Okay.
and you would immediately get bumped out of contention
Right.
for the exposure and attention you were looking to secure.
Yeah.
But now with technology, you can create a
Oh,
music video
yes.
for much less than you would have spent 25 years ago.
Yes.
So, knowing that you're in a world now where music fans, they listen with their eyes. They
Yes.
want to see it, they want to hear it, they want to make an informed decision whether or not your song, your image, your brand is something that they want to become a
Oh,
fan of.
yes.
So I tell every client you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. So if you're going to be releasing a visual, make sure it's something that you're going to be able to secure the best return on investment on.
Great advice, Andy. Very good advice. And how important is branding? These days, of being in this world that is so kind of oversaturated, like you said, and so many different people are bringing out music. How important it is to have branding these days?
Well, it could be argued that every post on your social media, every song you release, every single music video that you share with the world,
Yeah.
it is very much speaking directly to
The
your
audience.
branding.
Yeah.
And there are so many more considerations now.
Mhm.
It used to be that you really didn't have to worry too much about what your brand name was.
Okay.
But with search engine optimization,
Mhm.
you very much have to be
Right.
because you want a moniker that is easily searchable.
Yes. Yes.
You don't want to be stuck where you're using a brand name that has already been used by someone else,
Mhm.
or you don't want a situation where if people Google you, they have a tough time finding you.
Exactly.
So there are many more considerations when it comes to branding than there were just 2 decades ago.
Totally agree with you on that, Andy. And that's why I've got the H in my name, Saskia. And I think it throws people off sometimes, but that's the specific reason why I do it. It's so people can find me, and it's kind of a unique way of finding me because you have to have the H in it, and it brings me straight to the top of the page. So I love that.
No, and if your last name is Smith or your last name is Jones,
Yes.
uh, you're going to have difficulties.
Yes.
And I think of the band Always when we first started working with them. A lot of the decision makers and gatekeepers asked,
Mhm.
Andy, if the band is Always, why? Why do they spell it ALVVAYS?
I get it. I totally get it. Why?
Why not just put the W? Why get
Because,
cutesy and put two V's instead of the W?
yeah.
And I explained it to them. I said, if they were Always ALWAYS, that would be a search engine optimization nightmare.
I could imagine. I could only imagine, you know.
So they were smart enough to make that W two V's, anticipating that the band Always would have great success in this insufferable music industry.
You
And
said,
sure enough, they had great success. It
God,
was 12 years ago when Justina Valentine, the
yes.
redhead on MTV's Wild and Out, came and said, I've got some real issues here because when anybody Googles my name, Justina Valentine,
I love Justina.
all they find are 1-800-Flowers, chocolate covered strawberries,
Okay.
pictures of happy loving couples.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, very difficult. And she wanted to know what would be the best advice to alleviate this situation.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, you're just going to have to grind. You're going to have to be doing the things that your less talented, much more lazy competition, they're
Okay.
not going to do.
Okay.
And the more you're able to fill the World Wide Web with Justina Valentine,
Mhm.
Justina Valentine, Justina Valentine, all things Justina, these are going to be issues that will go away in a timely fashion. Now, all you have to do is just Google her first name,
She'll come straight.
Justina. And at this point, she comes up first, even ahead of the actress.
Wow.
And it's pretty remarkable that if you stay strong
Yeah.
and you realize that consistent, sustained promotion is your best path to getting past the pain point,
Okay.
then the sky's the limit.
So I'm doing the right thing then. Because sometimes I even wonder, am I doing the right thing? You know, and I think a lot of artists go through the same thing. Sticking to your guns and keep being consistent, right? Is that what you're saying? Just keep going and keep going and keep bringing your name out all the time and making sure it's relevant.
Absolutely. And we have always encouraged our clients to choose one of three: the 60-day grind,
Yeah.
the 75-day grind,
Hmm.
or the 90-day grind.
Okay.
So we have many clients who are putting out a new song and releasing a new video every 8 to 10 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if you've got 6 songs lined up over a 12-month period, that's the best way to build your community, build your fan base, build your buzz,
Yeah.
and keep that consistency intact.
Great for
Now, many talented creatives, they get a little anxious thinking, well, Andy, there's no way I can keep up that pace.
huh?
Maybe I could do 4 songs in a year.
Mhm.
So that's all right. That's every 90 days we're going to release a
Song.
new a new effort from you.
Yeah.
And for many that's a little bit more manageable. But the algorithms, they literally mimic the human attention span.
Okay.
So if you put out a song and a video and then you wait 8, 9 months to release a new song and a new video,
Wow.
you've lost your mojo.
Okay. Okay. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing, Andy. I think that's really, really important. So, you know, you've touched on getting into the music industry by watching the Beatles on TV. How did you kind of have an educational background in music, or was it just a pure passion of yours? How did you like find your real love for music?
I think that I was always attracted to loud and bombastic, somewhat novel uh, uh, vibrations.
Hmm.
In that, uh, growing up in the 60s, we had pop radio
Yeah.
and they would play all the hits.
Hmm.
And whether it was Steely Dan or The Doors or Vanilla Fudge or Herman's and the Hermits, didn't matter. People listen to music to feel a way they'd rather be feeling.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for me, hearing all this music and singing along, and then finally getting the subscription to Rolling Stone. So now all of a sudden you're reading all about these artists and reading about what makes them tick, whether it's Peter Frampton or Fleetwood Mac or
I love Fleetwood.
uh, the Bee Gees. It
BG.
was just, it was such a kick for me because I wanted to be the music guy.
Okay.
And if you were like most teenagers looking to find a pretty girl or if you're a girl looking for a handsome guy,
Go to a
having great musical knowledge was very, very helpful.
Okay.
And once I bought a bass guitar, I think like most people, you want to be a rock star. I mean,
Right.
you don't buy it because you just want to dabble in it.
Mhm.
You want to be the next Police, or you want to be the next U2, or you want to be the next NXS. All I can tell you is that we had the best time in the 80s making music.
Oh, I
It
love
was argued, Andy, why don't you play in a cover band? You'd make 10 times more money. But playing other people's music is not nearly as rewarding as creating your own
Yes,
and forging your own path. And though it didn't happen for my musical endeavors, it sure has been exciting being in on the ground floor
I
with
can.
so many of my clients. It was 23 years ago when 30 Seconds to Mars had a debut video, and I was given the heads up from the label. Well, the band is fronted by an actor,
Yeah.
and we all know when actors front a rock band, it usually doesn't end well.
Yes, that's true.
But from Capricorn, a brand new name in 2002, the folks in 30 Seconds to Mars proved that whether you're an actor or an athlete or a scientist or a professor, doesn't matter. Great music will always find an audience.
That's so true.
It was 2003 when Lost Highway came to us and they said, we have a video. I asked who it was. They said it was Johnny Cash. And
Yeah.
my jaw hit the floor. I couldn't believe it
Yeah.
because in 2003, Johnny was still with us.
Yeah.
But they went on to explain that the video did have some issues. Number one, in the video, Johnny didn't look well. In fact, it was commented that in the video, it looks like Johnny's about ready to shift off this mortal coil.
Yeah.
And then they shared with me that it was a 9 Inch Nails
Oh, okay.
cover song,
Right.
which is not Johnny's usual repertoire.
Hmm.
But promoting that video, the Johnny Cash Hurt video, put Hip Video Promo on the map. Then I was able to go to Sub Pop and get to work with the Shins and Iron and Wine and Flight of the Conchords,
Wow.
Head in the Heart, Fleet Foxes, all of those great musical groups. And then when Barsook saw we were working with Sub Pop, they brought us Death Cab for Cutie. And
Wow.
then John from Fueled by Ramen, who was just starting out, said, okay, I got this new band called Paramore. The following year, Octone presented a band called Maroon 5.
I love Maroon 5 so much.
2007, Astrowork said, we just signed this young lady from Australia. She's a newbie, but we have high hopes. And that was Sia. Uh, Fast forward to 2012, the Lumineers. They were concerned. They're like, yeah, this song, it's kind of the one song everybody in the venue, they always seem to remember it. And it's the song that our friends and family, they all think it's going to be the song that breaks through.
Next.
But Ho Hey was a very, and remains to this day, a very unusual song.
Yeah.
And in 2012, the last thing people were really looking to embrace was some kind of folk Americana band.
Yeah.
But though there was some resistance up front, I
Yeah.
did have some decision makers, gatekeepers tell me, we don't play novelty songs.
Right.
Ah, well, I think what Ho Hey by the Lumineers proves
Mhm.
is that you can make a music video for a very small budget.
Yeah.
You can present it to the world with the proper marketing. And it doesn't matter what the decision makers or gatekeepers might think or what their plans are, or what they think might happen.
Yeah.
In the end, great music
It's
will
great
always
music.
find an audience. And that song was the poster child for what we have come to know as the earworm.
Yeah.
Just gets stuck in your head.
You can't get it out. It's like Kylie Minogue spinning around in my head. You can't get it out your head, can you, when you hear it?
It's probably, I'm I'm surmising
Hmm.
that 13 years ago in the United Kingdom, y'all heard that song.
Yeah,
And here's another American band breaking through in the United Kingdom.
brilliant. It's
What
what
happened with that song is it became an international phenomenon. And though it's very rare that you hit the jackpot
right.
with your first release,
Yeah.
that did happen. So
Right.
it just goes to show you that you can never really know
What a hit is.
what is going to happen with your art.
Yeah.
But if it's 20% the great art you create as a musical creative, it really is 80% the marketing that you implement.
That is so important. Yes, it is. And I think that's also shifted over the years, hasn't it? The marketing efforts have really doubled from what they used to be back in the 70s. I think, they've really put a lot more focus into marketing. They've even got their own departments in record labels now, haven't they, that specifically deal with the marketing aspect of things.
P.T. Barnum,
Yeah.
the famous man behind the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus,
Hmm.
he one time said, a terrible thing happens when you do no marketing.
Ex-
Dot, dot, dot.
yeah.
Nothing.
Exactly. You don't even know who your audience is. And I think that's where a lot of artists struggle, isn't it? Knowing who is your audience, how do you reach them in a cost effective way, and where are they? Because I think that's really what it boils down to, isn't it?
Well, not only that is you have to be appreciative that people aren't just going to gravitate towards your music
Hmm.
because your music is so excellent and outstanding.
Mm.
You really do have to think about A, who is my market?
Yeah.
Who are the people most likely to embrace the
When,
cut of
yeah.
my musical jib?
Yeah.
And you have to target things because obviously things are rough, not just here in the United States,
Oh, trust me, they're just as.
but all over the world. You have to use your resources
Mhm.
to provide you the best return on investment.
That's so true. And how important is it to have a good team of people around you that understand how it operates? Because I think, in the music industry, there's a lot of people that say they can do X, Y, and Z, doesn't mean they actually can. So how important is it to have that trustworthy team of people around you that know what they're doing?
Well, that is pivotal.
It is.
It's the question I get all the time because many of my clients have been snookered.
Mm-hmm.
They have been bamboozled.
Yes. Sorry
They
to
have been sold a bill of goods.
dream, a bag of dreams, as we
Uh,
say.
it's my experience
Hmm.
that to find trusted professionals in the marketing world,
Yeah.
the first thing you need to do is you need to find out who have the people at this marketing company, who have they helped,
Yeah.
who have they championed, who have they been with from the ground floor,
Do your
who
research.
would I know who could potentially be a good example of this marketing company's promotional prowess.
Yes.
Very important. I think another thing, testimonials. Don't be afraid to ask for testimonials.
Okay.
And not just testimonials on a company's website. I would look at the company's testimonials
As well.
on Facebook
Okay.
because there's no way a marketing company can fudge the testimonials or reviews on a Facebook page.
Great advice.
Uh,
Yeah.
I would also contend that just like anything else in life. Show me who you walk with, and I'll show you who you are.
I
If
love
a company has been involved with artists and bands you respect and admire,
yeah.
you can feel much more confident
Oh yeah.
that if they're keen to work with you, that they would be most likely a good choice to advocate for you.
And also kind of having
And
the same values and goals really helps as well, doesn't it? Aligning yourself with people with the same values and goals as yourself. So you kind of streamline that process is really, really important too, isn't it?
very true. It was 2009 when the band
Yeah.
Metric from Canada,
Love
they
Canada. Shout out to Canada.
they uh, they really wanted to break big in the United States of America. They were fairly well known in their home country, but they had it in their minds to really break
International.
the American market.
Yeah.
And though they had had labels that were interested in them, they felt compelled to do it themselves.
Uh,
Do it yourself.
hard work.
DIY.
Yeah.
Because they were smart enough and savvy enough to know that if you sign with someone, they're going to be taking a good portion of your profits.
Very true.
What's more is if you sign with someone, you can't always be confident that the people at the label
We'll
are
support you.
all going to be 100% on board
Yeah.
with your creative efforts.
Mm-hmm.
What they did is they very carefully picked their radio plugger. They
Okay.
very carefully picked their management people and their booking agent. And they very carefully selected the company to help them with their visual content.
Yeah.
Thankfully, HIPVideoPromo was the company they chose to help them with their music videos.
Yeah.
And we got to see it happen in
Awesome.
real time.
Great work. Well done.
They went from being a huge fish in what could be considered a small pond
Yeah.
to becoming an international musical
That's awesome.
phenom, just one of the best bands to ever hit a stage in any place in the world. And they continue to fight the good fight.
Well done, Andy. That's super. You should be super proud of yourself. We've literally got 4 minutes left. Like time flies when you're having fun. Is there any ways the listeners can connect with you, find out more about your platform, or if they want to collaborate, how could they do that?
Yes, most of these marketing companies, not only do you not speak to the person in charge, at a lot of these companies, you don't speak to anyone.
It's just
So, as a fellow creative, I know how important it is for your own mental health
yes.
and your own confidence
Mhm.
to be able to talk to the person in charge. So, you can email us, you can call, you can reach out via social media, you can go to our website, HIPVideoPromo.com. You can go to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I have my own web series podcast where I speak to people who are within the industry.
Check that out.
But if you Google HIP, HIP, as in Peter, video, promo, you're going to find us. And you'll see a phone number. You will see an email. As the fearless leader here, I do get back to everyone.
Well
Keep in
done.
mind that I do have 5 other people here. So I'm not the only person looking at your new video. I have 5 other people who will look, and we will come up with an informed decision on whether or not this video is a good first impression.
Yeah.
If it is, then we send a proposal. Hopefully the potential client will say, yeah, let's get going. And we're just going to keep doing that right on through this year.
Keep it.
October 26th, we turn 25 years old. At some point between now and then, we will promote our 5,000th video. Who knows? It might be your video.
Fingers crossed.
And yes, everybody who reaches out to HIP, you will not be sloughed off to an underling. or an
Brilliant.
associate or an intern
Service.
or a other member, you're going to talk directly to Andy, the
Love it.
person in charge.
We love that. Thank you ever so much, Andy. I'll make sure all the links are in the description below so people can contact you with your email, your phone number, and all the bits and pieces. I just want to thank you ever so much again for coming along, sharing your expertise with us. You've been absolutely inspirational, awesome. Keep up the amazing work, and thank you for just being you. You've changed the music industry for a better place. So, you should be super proud.
Thank you, Saskia. It's been such a pleasure speaking with you and grateful, absolutely just thrilled
Thank you.
that I was able to find you and the great work you're doing.
Oh, wait, we
You're
cried.
giving of yourself ungrudgingly for all of these up and coming indie artists. And just the work you're doing is phenomenal. So just keep doing what you're doing, keep at it. You're doing fantastic work.
Thank you so much, Joe. You'll make me cry in a minute. Oh, that's so sweet. I hope you have a great day and a great rest of the week, and we'll speak again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.